Hi, chickies. If I look a little tore down, forgive me. I've had a little bit of a rough day with my friend, the kidney stone. We won't think about that right now, though. Here's what's happening. We are going to walk you through all of the things that you have learned, because I know some of you have been brave enough to tell me thank you. And some of you were absent all week. So this week, all we're going to do is digest all the stuff we've been learning about fractions. And as I made this video, I realized, like, dang, we've done a lot. So this is good for everyone, okay? And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk you through kind of a little summary of what we've been doing this week. And that way, if you were absent, you can kind of see it. Don't let it be overwhelming. And if you were here and you're not getting something, this is a good chance for you to kind of clue in on which skills are freaking you out or which ones you feel comfortable with. So here we go. And when I made this video, like I said, I've had kind of a crazy day. And so my video might jump about. Like, we're just going to see what happens. We're going to go with it. Okay. Growth mindset. Yeah, that's right. You heard me, CL. Growth mindset. I did it. Okay, here we go. So one thing that we learned how to do is we learned how to take a fraction and also name it as a decimal. So when you look at these models, I see in my top model, I've got tenths. And since I have tenths, I can name it as a fraction or a decimal. 7 tenths or 7 in the tenths spot. What? Same thing with this model on the bottom. I've got 100 pieces, 100 little pieces. So think of $1 broken into 100 pieces. I've got 3 hundredths. What is 3 hundredths of a dollar? Well, 3 cents, of course. And it looks like 3 in the hundredths place. Pretty cool. Now, the other thing that we learned how to do is we learned how to simplify a fraction, meaning use division to make our numbers smaller. So when I look at this fraction here, I count up the pieces and I see that I've got 6 pieces that are pink out of a total of 9. Eve, part to the total. Okay, I won't do it. And when I look at 6 and 9, I see, wait a second, they have a common factor, a number I can divide both of them by. I can divide the top number by 3 and the bottom number by 3. And if I can do the do rule, I can make a fraction that is simpler. So as I show you here, it says it's equal to 2/3. Is it? Let's find out. I'm going to break this circle into 3 equal parts, and lo and behold, 2 of them are shaded. That's why in a cookbook, it would never say add 6/9 cup of flour, because it's simpler to just tell you to do 2/3. And if you know your math facts, that part's a little less painful, but you can always use a cheat sheet. Now let's see what this computer's going to throw in next. It's throwing in comparing fractions. So if we have 2/3 or 3/4, I've had so many kids tell me that those are equal because 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 plus 1 is 4, and they're not thinking about how it works with bottom number showing us the size of the piece. And so there's 2 ways to do it. One way is to make a common denominator, a number that we can get to, skip counting by both 3 and 4. You can either multiply those 2 together if you're stuck, or you can skip count by each number until you find a number that you can get to, skip counting by both. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make that bottom number the same, or make a common denominator. I'm going to show my little insults to make equivalent fractions, and I'm going to fill in the missing numbers. So according to my math, 3/4 is exactly the same as if I gave you 9 little twelfths. And then over on the left, if I do times 4 times 4, I'm going to show those insults. I can see that 8/12 is equal to 2/3. So now that the pieces are the same size, they're both 12ths, I can decide which one is more because the pieces are the same size. 9/12 is bigger than 8/12. So in other words, 3/4 is a little bit bigger, 1/12 bigger than 2/3. That's why it's kind of hard to draw a picture of it and compare because sometimes they're so close to the same. And then, remember I taught you that little cheat method that some people are against real bad, the butterfly method, where you simply make some butterfly wings and multiply across, and you see which number is bigger, and that will also be a way to find the bigger fraction. But that one is very frowned upon, you should know, because it doesn't really let you understand what we're doing. And then next, OMG, we learned a lot. We talked about making equivalent fractions using the do-do rule. So on the left, I have 3 out of 4 pieces shaded. Now I'm going to take that same amount. I'm not changing it. I'm just cutting it into smaller pieces. And I'm going to see what fraction I made. I have 9 shaded and I have 12 total pieces. And we've talked about this so many times that a poor little kid would think that 9/12 was bigger than 3/4, but actually it's the same. It's just more pieces, more of a pain. That's why 3/4 is considered simplest form. And we can prove that these fractions are equal by doing my little do-do rule. Do times 3 on the top. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. And voila, I have proven that these fractions are equal using my do-do rule. And then, is there another little video coming up? If so, man, we've learned a lot. There is one more. You can make it. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Okay, here is a mixed number or an improper fraction model. Notice in each whole, I have 3 pieces. So my bottom number is going to be 3, not 9, because it takes 3 pieces to make one whole. And if I count up all the ones that I have shaded, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 over 3. That is what's called an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. You would never see it in a cookbook, but you are going to use it when you start adding and subtracting fractions. Why? I know, don't think about it. And if we want to do it cookbook style or regular style, we'd make a mixed number. I've got 2 wholes and 1/3 left over. Okay, geez, guys, now that I see how much we've done this week, it's no matter, we need to digest. That's a lot. It is a lot. So all this week, all we're going to do is practice. And I think that will make some of you feel more confident. And some of you that have been out sick also feel less crazy when you jump back in. So I'm looking forward to it. And I hope we all have a good week. Sorry this was so long.